Among Us versus Fall Guys.
And it's time to talk the talk.
Welcome back to another episode of Talk the Talk. In today's episode, we are talking about
Two games.
Two very similar games with two very similar guys. We are talking about Among Us and Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
The game where bean-looking people with strange anatomy do some weird things. They're very similar in the sense that's it, and that they're really popular right now.
Yes.
But a lot of people compare them together for some reason, so we are doing this video to end it all.
We're ending it.
We are ending the debate right here, right now.
Yes.
After this, there will be no other videos made on this subject.
Yes.
This is the last
one.
Among Us, released in 2018, as most of you guys know by now, has sold 86 million copies, but it is also free. So that does change something. Okay. And Fall Guys has sold 7 million, which in comparison is not good.
That's a lot.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but that's only because they only sell it on PlayStation
and Xbox.
PlayStation and Steam.
Oh, I thought they sold it on Xbox.
And they don't. Well, we both know which one sold more, and has been a landslide. 80 million difference. 80 million.
80 million copies sold.
But that, again, is not what makes the game good nor bad. So, Among Us is a murder mystery game where you're on some spaceship with some
random
weird
people.
Bean-looking guys.
Bean guys with no arms.
Who all have different colored suits for some reason, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because if you're on a regular space station, you all wear the same thing.
Yeah.
And they don't have any arms until they choose to bring out these weird giant hands.
Yeah, they go like this.
No, that's their backpack.
Yeah, this is the backpack.
Their hands aren't in their backpack.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a guy walking down the street with his hands in his backpack?
Yeah.
When?
You have done that.
Yeah, you seem like the type of guy who would do that on a normal basis.
Yes, I have.
So on that space station, you are either a crewmate or an imposter.
Imposters.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's like, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
If you're a crewmate, you have to do these tasks, which some of them I don't really consider them too even tasks to begin with, like connecting wires. Standing there when you press download for like 10 seconds, you're like sweating.
Having to scan yourself.
Hopefully you don't get killed. And if you're an imposter, you have to go around killing these guys.
Goodness.
And after killing them, you leave behind one bone, and then you got to discuss it with the other guys who are still alive.
And you be like, report. Where was the body?
Where?
In electrical.
No.
And Fall Guys is a game where you and like a whole bunch of other guys, little other bean guys, you're running around these maps. You're trying to get to the end or not die. It's kind of like what's the word? It's like Wipeout, but if you were a bean.
Yeah.
And now that you know the basic concepts of both of these games, if you didn't know them already, which would be kind of weird. What are the pros and cons between Among Us and Fall Guys?
Alright, the pros and cons. Alright, I'm going to start with Among Us. Pro. It's a fun game.
Pro.
Yes.
The best part is when you're the imposter.
Yeah, that's kind of gets kind of boring if you ain't the imposter.
Yeah, you just have to do tasks, or you could do memes as well.
What do you mean? What is a meme?
Like you gotta hide in electrical and wait until someone pops out a vent.
Well, that's not a meme. That's just like strategy.
Strategy. That's like IQ.
IQ.
200 IQ.
Right.
And then a con is that there's not that much maps.
There's only 3 maps.
There's only 3 maps.
And everybody thinks that Scaled, or whatever the first one's called, is the best one. It's not.
best.
It's
It is
not.
the best.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's kind of garbage.
It's not garbage.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Alright, and then for Fall Guys, it is more colorful.
You're
Colorful.
gonna bring up the 3D aspect again. Oh, it's 3D, so it's better.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's super colorful. You have more choose your skin,
Yeah.
your icon
Uh-huh.
thing. There's choose yours, and then you are able to play a bunch of different maps.
Right.
But how are they so similar? Like one's a killer and trying to kill, and then you're trying to get to the finish line. And
they're competing for the same spot,
Oh, the same spot. All right.
and they're like one's bean and the other one's bean.
Beans versus beans.
Yeah.
Beans versus beans.
So Imogen,
yes, me?
what do you think are your pros and cons between Among Us and Fall Guys?
Let's start with Among Us. Pro.
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 It's free.
It's free.
It's
Yeah,
free.
Oh,
I don't
that's
gotta
one.
pay for it.
I don't gotta
Pro.
pay for the game.
When you're playing Among Us, it's really boring if you have nobody else to play with and you're like you become the crewmate. It's kind of like
Yeah.
there's no reason to keep on playing. I kind of just stay until I die and then I leave, or until I do my tasks and then
Yeah.
I leave. It's kind of just boring if you're not the imposter.
Yeah, the imposter's the best.
The
And-
imposter's
and-
the best.
Among Us is completely and utterly boring when you're not playing it with other people. It's just so like you're not in the same room with them and you're not talking to them, and it's kind of just like
Where?
the most amount of like words that come out of the in-game group chat is just like where,
Who?
and some
Start.
and some guy just yelling like random words at people. Oh my god, I saw this guy, and I'm just like,
Or it's like red is sus.
yeah.
So
If I hear that, I'm just gonna vote for myself because I can't go any further with that type of gameplay. And with Among Us, as you guys said, Among Us is like the maps. There's like so little choices, and the
Yeah.
one that everybody plays is so boring. I hate whatever it's called, Skeld or Skilled or Shield or whatever it's called. It's boring. And your amount of like, you just have hats, and then you have to pay
Yeah.
for the skins. I'd
Yeah,
rather
you have to
pay
pay.
for the game.
Yeah, you have to pay for like the police suits,
Yeah.
or the pets,
Yeah.
or the hats.
Yeah, but in the end, it's not really that big of a deal because you have like so many hats to begin with. So I don't really see why anybody would want to buy
Yeah.
more.
True.
More
Would want to
hats.
buy anything.
True.
And with Fall Guys, it's a lot more. If it's a better game if you're like by yourself. I find it. Fall Guys is a lot better on your own. It's like one of those single. You could play it single player, or no, not single player. You could play it on your own, and you could still
Yeah.
have the same amount of fun if you were to play it with other people.
Yeah.
But another thing is that it's only on the PlayStation
Yeah.
and Steam.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That literally killed it. That's why nobody's playing. That's why nobody's playing Fall Guys anymore.
And plus you have to
because
pay
it's
for it.
only on. Well, that's not a big reason.
Alright.
But it's because it's only on 2 game systems. And does anybody own a PlayStation? I haven't seen any PlayStation. Or maybe I'm just not talking to people who own PlayStations. But who knows? So I think if Fall Guys wanted to stay relevant longer, they would
Yeah.
have just put it on the other consoles. That's all we gotta say for the game. Tyler, what do you think is the best game?
Between the two games, I think Fall Guys is a better game.
Why?
Because one, what I said earlier, it's colorful.
Uh-huh.
It's super colorful. And there's more maps
Uh-huh.
than Fall Guys. And it's more funner because you don't lose that like fun part of it
Uh-huh.
very quickly with Fall Guys. No, with Among Us.
Uh-huh.
So between the two, Fall Guys is the better game in my opinion.
Okay.
What do you think is the better game?
Zach opposite of you. I think Among Us is a better game because you can be an imposter in it. Because with Fall Guys, I don't really like it's like the wipeout, like you said. I don't really like that.
You don't really like the people running.
Yeah, it's so annoying. It's like, oh my god, move!
So you think it's the better game?
Among
Yes. Yeah.
So for me,
Tiebreaker.
I have to say it. Let's say
What to choose? What to choose?
I think it really just depends. It depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm playing with friends, I'll go for Among Us over Fall Guys any day. But if I'm not with anybody, I wouldn't be caught dead playing Among Us. I'd rather play Fall Guys. So, with that in mind, I think it's just a tie.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. I think the internet really just doesn't have too much room for two different types of games. They're far too far apart for me to compare them that well. But I do think that if I had to play one game, it'd be Fall Guys. So I think Fall Guys is the better game.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Let's go. How does it feel?
Sad.
How does that feel?
You're gonna feel it next time when we do
The other thing.
Minecraft versus Fortnite coming soon.
Oh.
That's all I have to say for this video. And in the next episode, that's all we have to say for this video. And until the next episode, keep on following that, guys, and amonging us, killing those crewmates.
Yeah.
Fall Guys is the better game.